Hey, it's Norm from Tested. I'm here at GDC 2013, and here back with Nate Mitchell. We saw you at CES. How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, and thanks for having the Oculus Rift here. You guys are just about ready to ship off all those developer kits, all those Kickstarter kits. It's an exciting time.
Absolutely. We're shipping Kickstarter kits later this week, opening up the SDK later this week. Really excited to finally actually get developers, into the community, working with them, building content for the Oculus Rift.
So you guys had a lot of announcements in the past couple of weeks, including showing off what will actually be inside the developer kit. But I want to start off just clear things up and talk about the games, because you guys have announced for Developer Showcase, TF2 and Hawken will be the games supported.
Sure. And
we've played Hawken a little bit. Will's playing it right now. I want to talk about TF2 and what the control modes be, because we haven't played TF2 with Oculus Rift yet. We don't know how it will work with the Oculus Rift. So can you explain that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Valve's done an incredible job of really experimenting with VR, and it's one of the things that they're best at, right? Is trying new things, doing a lot of research. So, they've inputted a lot of different input methods that users can actually switch between on the fly with console commands. In fact, if you go to the Valve Team Fortress 2 wiki, they have a huge list of console commands for virtual reality mode, changing stereoscopy and IPD and all these really cool things. So some of the different mechanisms they have, I think they have one where head tracking is enabled and you use your head solely to look around the world. Another one where obviously head and mouse look are used together. There's another one where the mouse look is limited to the center point of the screen, basically a safe area. Right. And if your mouse leaves that safe area, then you start to turn. And that's very cool because basically it allows you to aim within a small, rectangle or square. And then as you move outside that square, it does allow you to make those big, fast turns.
That's exactly what I want. It's like what I have in Arma.
Yeah, and actually that's the mode that we prefer. And we actually took that as a great sample and implemented that into some of our demos, because it really does make for a great way. You still have that precision aiming, in that center point where you're looking, but it still lets you, very quickly turn your character, 90 degrees in any direction. So the wiki actually outlines all the modes and how to switch between them. So if you're interested, just hit the Team Fortress 2 wiki. They've done really an incredible job, especially for Oculus Rift developers who wanted to try different things.
And the other game you're showing off right now is Hawken, which I just played. It's a cockpit game, which theoretically works really well with virtual reality.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been working with Adhesive and Meteor a lot on Hawken, trying to make it really polished. This is still a super early build, but you tried it actually. What did you think of the experience?
So it was interesting looking at the HUD in the virtual reality hub. The feet aren't rendered yet. Maybe that's something that they'll add later. But there was no reticle. So you've taken things out of the HUD that people would normally play on a desktop monitor. Are they going to change that? I mean, what are you guys doing to accommodate for that?
Sure. So, we're looking at a lot of different... the bottom line is really that UI and VR is super challenging. There's all these questions about XY position, but even more than that, you have Z depth, right? Because in a stereoscopic game, you really do need your UI in a lot of ways to be 3D. So we're looking at a lot of different ways to sort of integrate that UI into the game world. At the end of the day, it's going to be up to the Adhesive and Meteor guys how they do it exactly, but we're working with them to try some new things, and a lot of that, research and development, sort of the same stuff that Valve's been doing, is being rolled back into our best practices guides and our community documentation.
Something we didn't actually get to cover at CES, but we showed was that obviously it works with glasses. You wear glasses, I wear glasses, and we did mention that if you are farsighted, then you don't need your glasses because the focus is focused to infinity. The dev kit also includes 3 pairs of lenses. Now, how will those work?
So we have these removable eye cups now, and basically there's 3 different eye cups. There's A, B's, and C's. And for A's, if you're farsighted or you have perfect vision, you're wearing contact lenses, or you're using glasses, you can use those A cups. And then if you're a nearsighted user, we wanted to try and help them out. So the B and the C cups are sort of two stabs at nearsighted and then very nearsighted. And then to complement the additional eye cups, actually, we have these slide assemblies. They can actually move the screen and the lenses closer or further away to your eyes. So if you use the shortest eye cups, you don't have to give up necessarily all that field of view. You can still crank it in, bring it close to your eyes, and really get the full experience.
And you can just use one eye cup if you have astigmatism.
You could, yes. It's not going to be perfect for everyone. It'll get better for the consumer version of the Rift. Right now, it's like so many nearsighted developers out there. Let's try and take a stab at helping them. And the whole mechanism is really going to improve for the consumer version. We have some neat stuff planned.
How else has the Oculus Rift changed from when we saw it at CES? It's the same panel.
So now, we're demoing the 7-inch, the actual developer kit that's shipping out. It has a 7-inch panel, a little bit more responsive, a little bit bigger and heavier, which is a downside. We've added the over-the-head strap to sort of compensate for some of the weight, additional weight on the front. Our control box is looking a little bit more professional. Same resolution, 1280 by 800, 720p total.
Right, and so you're still rendering. You're rendering at 720p. It's split in half. You have technically more vertical resolution than horizontal resolution, right?
Yes, per eye, yes.
Per eye, but when that's combined, you don't really notice the loss in detail.
Exactly.
I didn't notice the loss in detail, at least.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think we've covered it. You guys are shipping. We're supposed to get ours soon. Oh, developers, they can develop on Unreal 3, the free Unreal 3 development kit, and the SDK. You guys are testing that now and rolling that out soon.
Yeah. So, in fact, we rolled it out with some partners. Adhesive obviously used it for Hawken. Some other people, that we, some of our friends. Good feedback. We've really, tightened that up a lot to try and make the best experience for developers coming in for the first time. So, if you're a developer out there and you have a dev kit on the way, you should definitely, be excited. We've done a lot to try and make it a great experience.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nate.
Absolutely.
Hawken, TF2, many different game modes and control schemes. We'll have to check it out when we get our dev kit. All right, we'll see you guys on tested.com. Bye.